Hello, and welcome to episode 25 of The Spirit Engine 2. I'm Brain Stabby, the stabbiest stabby that ever stabbed, and as always, I have with me,
And Weitzler, who is so looking forward to this episode.
and I'm really happy that this episode. Oh, never mind. I'll get back on that in a moment.
Oh, look, that's a cloud child.
Yes, it is. I was wondering what that was. Okay. And it's being covered with these weird creatures.
That is being tied down by vines.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have an old lady in a green dress. Okay.
Yep. And of course with flower petals falling. Oh, let's see. Hello there, Mama Saga. We'd like to ask you some questions.
Yes, of course. I do hope the doorkeeper didn't bother you too much. I've been trying to retrain him recently. There hardly seems much point in continuing now. It's nice to see you, Grace, Ferwin, Mauritius, Marie. I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long. Make yourselves comfortable.
How did you know we were coming?
I listen carefully, my dear. Sometimes I hear things I shouldn't. I like to keep busy now that I find myself alone here in my twilight years. Please rest here a while. I'd like to talk with you.
If we had more time, we'd happily stay, but we need your help. We're on an urgent mission to...
Rescue the young lady currently sheltering with the Enclave. I'd heard. You've got plenty of time, or rather, it has already run out. Either way, it doesn't matter. Sit down for a minute. You look exhausted.
Alright. We had a rather strange and frantic day so far, and some time off our feet would do us good. A rest would be nice. Thank you, ma'am. Who are these little creatures? They're so cute. Ooze, so cute. Ooze, so cute. You are. Yes, you are. I believe you were doing Marie's.
Cute? They most certainly are not. Such horrid, dirty little things. Keep your hands well away from them, Ferwin. There's no telling where they've been. Don't let the tickets bother you. They tend to the great garden of the Traverse, working tirelessly day and night. The only reward they need is the sight of solemn famines budding in the early spring, or follia petals opening in the morning sun.
I almost feel envious. They have a very simple life, but it sounds so fulfilling. Sometimes I wish I could live like that.
Yes, the daily bustle can get so complicated, can't it? So much rush, so much bother. Sometimes it's nice to just sit for a moment and let things slow down. You'd be surprised what you hear when you listen to silence.
Listen to the sound of silence. We saw a cloud child back there. Back there? Literally, just behind you. It's still in frame. Marie is, like, a step away from it.
Tied up back there.
Are you
Alright.
sure that's entirely safe? We've watched them destroy an entire city by themselves.
They are rather inconsiderate, aren't they? They come from the cold plains between the stars, and they have no place on our warm earth. This one will regret the day it wandered in to feed off my garden, don't you worry.
I'm sorry, but we didn't come here for idle conversation. Can you help us or not? We're running out of time.
Why the hurry, Mauritius? A week ago you would have been quite happy to leave this matter in God's hands. After all, is he not all-knowing, all-powerful, and infinitely compassionate?
I don't know. A week ago I believed so. I thought that I was owed something by him for my service. Now I fear I may have known nothing.
Do not despair. Faith is a wondrous force, but is made stronger, not weaker, by the presence of doubt. The truth is a lot stranger than we can ever imagine, so you and I must be comfortable with never truly knowing it. Besides, isn't the guessing fun? Be patient, priest. The universe delights in granting wisdom to those who wait patiently when they least expect it.
Perhaps, but Mauritius is right, ma'am. We do need to be on our way. Can you...
Assist you in gaining an audience with the Enclave? I'm sorry, no, not directly. The Enclave and I have had a few disagreements in the past. My interest in affairs outside was causing them some discomfort. Eventually, I heard too much, and they asked me to leave for fear of hearing it themselves. We leave each other alone now, for the most part. And so poor little old me is left to spend the last of my days tending this small patch of the Traverse. It's not so bad. The soil is fertile and the view, my beautiful view. I fear that tomorrow will be its last sunrise.
Well, that's cryptic.
Change is coming. And speaking of change coming, the music just
It did. It's a lot more sad now, I'd say. Perhaps somber.
change is coming. I heard it first as I listened to the world, and I left to prepare. The Enclave never listened as I didn't, but now the call is too loud to ignore, and they are afraid. This is something they cannot hide from behind the jungle.
Oh, and now we've got vocals.
The forest hears it too. It knows it will be shattered and thrown to the wind. Man and beast and plant alike. Fear oozes in every bead of sap, sparkles in every drop of morning dew like a contagion. The voice of history is calling us all. The Enclave believe they can silence it by harboring the girl, when in fact they are as helpless as you poor, earnest things. Ignorance cannot save them now. They have already failed, as have you, my dears. Her fate is of no consequence. The time we have now left is better spent preparing for the inevitable than fighting against it.
Please, you must help us. Your prophecies of doom are bound to fulfill themselves if all you do is sit there and wait. We're not giving up.
I admire your naivety. In a world dictated by fate, it is the thought that counts most of all. But if the only thoughts you have are not your own, how can you know that you're even imagining a choice?
That is so deep, I don't even know what she said.
Um, I know precisely what she said. She's intimating that the Ricari have thought all his thoughts for him.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense.
We are all children of history, watching the future grow from the past. Your governors have tried to hide your roots and fill your thoughts with branches, but even they cannot heave the tree skywards from the earth without killing it. You cannot bend the mighty oak. Let it grow to reach the stars once more.
You're not making much sense, and frankly, we don't have the time to be polite to you anymore. If you won't help us, we're leaving.
I only hope your stubbornness will work in your favor. It compensates for a great weakness, one which you must accept. The way across the maw has never been barred to you, my dears. The forest favors no one, not even the Enclave. It works in harmony with those who honor and cherish it. Take your Kanta seeds and plant them at the edge of the precipice. If your heart is true and you have faith, step out into the sky and let the forest catch you.
That's it? You want us to walk off the edge of a cliff? Just whose side are you on?
I am on no one's side. She's an ent. I seek only to save the energy that good souls waste fighting the inevitable. That's why I told the masked outsiders who came before you the same thing. They didn't listen either.
So, speaking of Ents, though, I'm listening to the audiobook of The Lord of the Rings, and I just got to the part where Treebeard appears, so hilarious coincidence there. The Keepers were here? How long ago? Please tell us.
Minutes, hours? When you reach my age, you try to avoid keeping track of the time, my dear. Besides, I've told you all you need to know. I can't stop you if you wish to go. Go.
So that's where all the Keepers were dead there by the Maw.
Farewell, tread softly to the. There were other places where they died, but a lot of them died in the jungle, as you
Yep.
saw.
Mm-hmm.
Farewell, tread softly through the garden. Do not be too hard on the boy. He is as much a victim of fate as we all are.
Thank you for the advice, ma'am. And I looked at the text and I did not see what just happened to her.
She got dragged inside the tree by a vine, which you probably just now noticed was up the back of her skirt.
I actually did see that it was up there. Okay.
It looked a very great deal like she's not actually human, but just a growth out of that tree.
Okay. Thanks for nothing. This whole situation stinks. Why do I get the feeling we're being played with?
I'll second any emotion of confusion. There's something funny in the air because none of this is making sense.
We can only follow her instructions. Our next destination should be the Maw. If she was telling us the truth, the spot of gardening is called for. We may have to get our hands dirty. Hey, we gained 26,000 for our actions. And let's apply some skill points. We've got 2 and we unlocked the next level, so let's go with Mauritius, Wrath and Dam, Furwin, Might and Slay,
Grace.
Queen, Grace, aimed shot as always, and let's go explosive no, Lucky Lady.
Alright.
51% dodge chance. I like it. Alright. So basically we're going to be growing those floating platforms. Hey, normal kid, what's up? Not much. Doing a little bit of the Spirit Engine 2. Where are we at? 12 minutes. We got plenty of time.
Let's save here before we do the
Good idea.
fight again.
Because everything has been a little tougher lately. Right.
And you remember the gimmick of the spider fight, right?
Yes. So I was hoping to, when we did it the first time and I noticed that they were respawning like that, I figured, oh, you know what, let's just kill the one in front, then kill the second one, then kill the third one. And then you reminded me, yeah, they actually respawn. So, yeah, let's not do that. But for now, these guys have no resistances, I think, right?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, they've got some fixed resistances. Nothing huge.
Let's damn them.
Yeah, let's. Normal Kid says, I heard the HD version of Day Live Spirit Pledge is coming out. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do we go with Thunderstrike? Yeah, we go with Thunderstrike and Explosive Shell just to do some AoE damage.
And spread the dams out.
Exactly. There we go. There's dam number 2. Dam number 3.
Wrath for now, because no one's hurt.
Wrath for now, no one's hurt. We're gonna have to cycle Mauritius back right now. Okay, that guy is almost dead.
Let's pause Grace.
Sure.
And Mauritius.
Yeah,
And have the
let's Furwin
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike everybody, and then they can attack the next group. That's a good idea. There we go. Let's let them get back. Did it kill 2?
I think it was Marie attack. So let's have an aim shot right now.
Aim shot, Wrath, go. Oh yeah, look at that. A normal
Alright,
kid is pre-registered, so am I. Let's pause everyone just to be safe. And let group number 3 come down. Or group number 2, excuse me. Damn. And we can go back to Explosive and Thunderstrike. There's the Dam. Grace, your turn.
And we can start healing after.
Yeah, when Grace takes a little bit of damage.
Well, when we're done damning everyone.
Yes. You need a dam? Yes, good. I grabbed the right one. And Grace did take that little bit of damage that I mentioned.
You should unpause Furwin.
I should. That would be useful. Oh, and we got the dam out just in time. Anyway,
Now we start healing.
Furwin out front. Mauritius, heal. Yeah, we can continue like that for a second. And we need a dam. Yep, he needs there.
How about sword faithing the
One in the
bad
back.
guy? Sword faith and high fire, and then you can just do
Then
burn down.
let's keep heal, high fire, sword faith. Guy on the back.
And then you can just burn down the ones in order, since we have.
All right. Pause. Mauritius, your time to shine. Okay, and let's get a dam going. And back to slaying. No. Thunderstrike and explosive shell.
Slay and aim shot.
Slay and aim shot.
Yeah, they'll stay dead for long enough that we can just burn them down in order pretty. Since you got rid of each wave pretty much at the same time, we aren't going to have a huge trouble.
Okay, sure. Anyway, then let's go back to healing and let's get that first group down. Alright. Damn the second one.
Let's move Furwin to front and have his trick annoy somebody.
Yep. Alright. Keep waiting for the dam. Oh, it annoyed someone. There's the dam. Back to healing. And continue. And I think we can dam him now.
Let's put Grace in front.
Yep. Grace. And Wrath. And we'll get the kill here. And yes, normal kid, we are level 69. Very nice, but not anymore. We gained a level and now we're 70. So I said that just in time. Anyway, High Fire's been rather... No, whoops. Me and my right clicks.
At least you had plenty of refund points at this point.
Yes, I do. Furwin, let's get you a Fortitude. Mauritius, let's get you a heal. And that's everybody cleared out. Let's continue. And plant some seeds. There, I've planted every seed we collected. I suppose all we can do now is wait and see. Marvelous. We can come back in 20 years and see what's sprouted. What a bunch of fools we are. I bet that old witch is sat up in her tree having a good chuckle at our expense.
And recall there were...
Oh, Mauritius, ye of little faith. And hilariously, that's actually what Furwin says, almost. There we go, aren't they beautiful? Have a little more faith, Mauritius. Anyway, you were saying something?
Recall how there were 2 big flowers that sprouted back at Mama Saga's perch, and
Yep.
we collected 5 seeds. Take a look how many flowers sprout here.
I'm gonna assume there are 5.
There are 3 that sprout here.
Okay, 2 sprouted there and 3 sprouted here. Gotcha. Well, I'm not stepping out there. That bridge is built with the devil's own pagan magic. You rock, Mauritius. And it doesn't look safe at all. You can go first, Furwin.
Furwin Drake Talbot, you will do no such thing. A recently married man with a future family to think about. Mauritius can do it. He's got nothing to lose.
How dare you, miss? I'm a distinguished clergyman with a rich history of study which does not deserve to be lost into that misty abyss. Besides, I don't find heights at all agreeable. I suffer from dizzy spells. There's no need for any of you to worry. I'm the oldest person here. I will test the bridge. You must be cautious from here on. We don't know how these people will react to outsiders, but they've lived alone out here for countless generations. We should approach them carefully.
That conversation was actually significantly, well, there was a significant hunk in the middle there after Marie's interjection that doesn't show up if you have Charlotte in position 2. So yes, Mark Pay extended this conversation with based on Marie's interjection by adding her to the party. So cool.
Nice. Please, go no further. You've put yourselves in great danger by coming here. For your own safety, I beg of you, turn and go back the way you came. It is for us alone to face his wrath. We're looking for the young woman who sought refuge here. She needs our help. Where is she? We can no longer protect her. We thought we could, but we were wrong. In the end, it was too dangerous for her to remain alive. Good grief! She came to you looking for help. What have you done? We haven't harmed her. We would never do such a thing. Our ancestors left the old world to escape such sins, and took a vow never to repeat them here. But even our most sacred principles mean nothing in the vengeful nature of a man woken from the dream you share. Please forgive us. In the end, we weren't strong enough to do what had to be done. That is why, when the masked stranger crossed the mists further north, we let him and his lost knowledge pass. Oh no, the keepers, they got here first? Damn it, woman, get out of our way! Oh no, we're too late.
Nothing but ashes. My task is complete. You people may do with me as you wish. Give you no pleasure in my ending.
Then at least tell us why. So many innocent people killed. For what end? What are you trying to accomplish?
You do not know? When we first saw you with the Prince's Guard in Blue Feather Forest, we thought that you did his bidding. You've come so far and fought so hard, all in his service.
Parliamentarian Batiste? What are you talking about? The boy was trying to end this madness.
End? No, this madness is only just beginning. What assembled here was the last of our order's strength, now laying broken. You may be our last chance to stop him if you can slay the remaining child. We keepers seek to maintain order in all things. The world we inhabit is a delicate construct, built upon stolen memory. We are too many now, even for our benevolent guardians to control. Should that memory be returned, the truth will destroy all they have sought to build. The people will lust for power past, and this reign of simple peace and prosperity will be lost. The past is known to few humans, and even then only in parts. Our elders knew enough to hide it, and the founders of the Enclave knew enough to fear it. Now the Prince knows something of it too. He seeks to cast down this benevolent order and wield a force long since buried. He needs access to the vaults beneath Medea, to the World Eye. There are few left now whose blood runs pure enough to unlock it. We have destroyed them all, save for the one girl you took from us. Where is she?
Isabel? We left her someplace safe. She isn't with the prince.
You're sure? Listen to me. If you only believe one thing I say, let it be this. You cannot let him find her. Hide her if you can. Kill her if you must.
Do you actually believe we would help you? Now, after all that you've done? And all that you've put us through? You're sick. I don't know who you think you are, but we are not murderers.
Really? We have but the blood of a few hundred shared upon our hands. We have done evil knowingly in the service of order, but you three, you are unwitting agents in the deaths of tens of thousands. More if this does not end here. You saved the girl. You led the prince to us, and you helped him deliver the briefcase whose contents will set Medea's two greatest nations truly at war for the first time.
What did the briefcase have to do with Batiste? Are you saying that the Parliamentarian knew Porta Vale was going to be destroyed?
I am saying he destroyed it himself! And Kelstarin, Silreth, and Pontara, with uncovered alchemy and the aid of the migratory Star Wanderers. This is only the beginning of what lost knowledge will do to our world. He sent the falsified evidence out via Gara. We tried to follow it, but we lost track at the border. If you had not helped it to his destination, the prince might have had to reconsider his plans.
This is preposterous. You're a liar and a murderer. We've no reason to trust a word you say.
Believe what you will about the city's fate, but you must trust me about the girl. Everything depends on her now.
I don't understand. If you do the bidding of the Rakari, why didn't you ask them for help if so much was at stake? They could have dealt with this.
We serve order, not the Rakari. The Rakari have brought order, but they do not direct us. They know of us and allow us to continue unimpeded because we serve the same master. We did not want them to see us struggle. We are afraid of them. If we are no longer useful, they will come and take our minds from us. Their power has waned much over the ages. The population has long been too large for them to directly control. So much of their governance now is deception and the slow mechanizations of our ordered society. But their gaze can still undo the very essence of a man. We have watched them remake a mind as easily as you or I might rub chalk from a board.
We have seen that, in fact.
We thought that we could handle the errant prince and his collaborators as we've done with others before. We are wrong, in part due to your persistence. It may already be too late for us, but you can still atone for your mistakes. Kill the boy and his followers and bury what they know forevermore. My, do I feel my ears burning? I hope you've had pleasant things to say about me, Keeper. It isn't polite to speak ill of people behind their backs. You're too late now, child. Nothing left for you to do but wait for the righteous embrace of the hangman's noose. My brethren and I shall see you in hell! Oh dear, my mother once told me that if you don't have anything good to say, you should say nothing at all. What a shame that she and my father were never given a chance to complete my upbringing. Never mind. You won't be bothering me much longer, pitiful thing. You must be the last of your traitorous kind. I see you've had a talk with our friends. That's a shame. I rather liked them.
It's true, isn't it? You used us. You murdered all those people, and we helped you do it. Never again. Whoa!
Furwyn, speak to me. Are you alright?
That is one fast lady.
Thank you, Shara. I will no longer tolerate such disrespect. The rest of you would be wise to keep your hands well away from your weapons. You three here are at my mercy, alive only because I am grateful for the service you have performed. Save for the general, with whom my people have unfinished business.
I expected as much, but I would ask to see a question. Answered first, Batiste. Knowledge is power, and it seems the power you seek to wield is formidable. How did you, of all people, come to possess information known only to the Rakari and this secretive sect?
He has told you all he knows, hasn't he? It amuses me to see them so desperate that they would seek help outside their precious order. It's a fair question. The Rakari have gone to great lengths to hide their past deeds in pursuit of the subjugation of our species. Moment? Banned!
Ooh, nice. Thank you. In the meantime, I will reply to Normal Kid. Yeah, Mauritius sounds like me except for the intelligence. And magic. You're saying Mauritius is smarter than you and can do magic? Anyway, I'll let you continue with the spammer deleted.
It has required great sacrifice and much subterfuge to undo their revision of history as far as we have. I'll indulge you five with a bedtime story of sorts. a fairy tale before this world closes its eyes and awakens to a bright new dawn. Our tale begins in times recently past with a man of science, Dr. Robert Miles, once a brilliant and distinguished archaeologist, died a humble pauper, his mind taken from him in his later years. Stolen. Few academics today would be familiar with his work. He wrote a great many papers about the alder ruins that lay across Medea and their odd reaction to his presence. He wrote of his theories that they represented a gateway to a world beneath the surface of our own, and of an ancient power responsible for a cataclysm that scarred our planet once before, thousands of years ago. He must have been pressing a little too close to an uncomfortable truth as our benevolent guardians, the dear Ricari, saw fit to re-educate him and set about destroying his work.
Re-educate. Complete with air quotes.
Re-educate. That would be just as sinister as what the Daleks say anyhow.
Yep. Exterminate. Re-educate.
I believe he spent the rest of his life as a desk clerk in a timber company. He deserved better. Unfortunately for the Ricari, the last few copies of his papers lay in the State Provincial Library in Solvacara, in my dear homeland of Amara, and were rendered unreachable by a rather inconvenient rebellion. It's something we Amarans seem to have in our blood, and oh, how we suffer for it. In the last few days of the war, as my parents lay slain by an assassin's cowardly blow, the blood of the People's Army soaked our dear earth, and Solvacara burned. My dear mentor, Mr. Folks, is searching for our salvation. He took the liberty of removing those papers from the library's vaults, amongst a great many others. It took him many years to extract and piece together the important information from them. Information that can free Amara, grant us power over our oppressors, and avenge the injustices wrought against us. Too late for the rebellion of my father, but not too late for his son and the nation, my people, now inflamed by 8 years of shame.
8 years of peace and prosperity, Batiste. And they're not your people. Amarans are better off without a monarchy. Inside the Union, they each have a voice and a vote.
In the Parliament of Stars? Oh, the place is a theater, General. We're all merely its audience. I thought if there was just one thing we two could agree on, it would be that. My father fought to free us from the tyranny of the Ricari and restore the Amaran monarchy. I intend to complete the dream he died for and bring our glorious war of independence to a conclusion.
Glorious? You've no idea what war is, child. Neither did your father. The 726 uprising was no noble enterprise. It was mindless violence, driven by nationalistic posturing and your father's own vile ego. It wasn't even supported by the majority of Amarans. His noble freedom fighters terrorized and murdered any of their own people who disagreed with them. They burned ships and harbors and destroyed bridges and buildings erected with Union taxpayers' money. I visited towns on the border, attacked by Amaran rebels, and saw the terrible things they did. Their people screamed out for attention, and at the start I was glad when we were finally given the 4th and 7 armies, and told to go into Amara and put an end to the madness. Your father was no hero, Batiste. What he started was less a war and more of a national suicide attempt. He had no hope of ever setting up an independent Amaran state. He gave your people nothing but incompetent misrule, false dreams, and death. He was an egomaniacal idiot who led Amara to its own ruin. Silence! I can silence her, my prince. Let me sever the hag's hateful head from her shoulders, so that we may hear no more of her obscenities.
No, Shara, be calm for me. I've suffered tyrants all my life, from drunken peasants on the streets of Olarion to the educated nobles in the Parliament of Stars. They mean nothing when you know them to be hollow lies, the pitiful self-deceit of those who know no better. Besides, I believe you're finished, Grace, aren't you?
Not with you, boy. You're crazier than your father and every bit as foolish. You should never have allowed you a token position in the Parliament.
Oh, General Winters, that steely passion must have been put to such good use in the butchery of my people. How ironic that our weapon of salvation lay beneath your feet all this time, buried in the alder ruins beneath the Great Plains.
Wow, a callback to Chapter 2.
The Ricari are afraid of those ruins. They left something terrible sealed in there because they could neither control nor destroy it. They watch over the few remaining doors in fear because they know that the great power buried below can be wielded by the hands of man. Far more superstitious, I might say that the ruins are alive.
Something we also noticed.
They're not, of course, but they do respond to certain people with a distinct harmony. Dr. Miles and others who share his lineage are among a privileged few whom those old stones remember. The Ricari had almost succeeded in breeding that potential out of our race. They have interfered with us for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. We are destined to be so much more than we are. The Loreftes and Yagaran governments are their puppets, and they are the true architects of my nation's misery. Excuse me.
Not a problem. There is a lot of talking here. I'm glad you got Batiste.
Poor Dr. Miles is dead now, of course. He was one of the first the Keepers slew when they realized what we knew. They've been frantically killing ever since. They really are a rather effective organization. No wonder the Ricari allowed them to continue their treacherous work. Our only desires for peace and stability. Reliving the past will bring only great strife and conflict with our benevolent governors. Even we do not know what has gone before, only that it must remain hidden.
Well, not only do they bring peace and stability, they also bring stabity! Although, apparently, turning people to ash is actually more of their preferred method, rather than stabbing.
Man must know his place. That is why we must all forget. In this case, sadly, you failed. Man is forged by conflict and advanced by the struggle against adversity, not idleness and stagnation beneath foreign overlords. Too long have we been unwitting grazers, content to chew the grass. It's time we took control of our own affairs. No, it'll never be. You have no access to the World Eye. You have purged the entire bloodline. Your bluff is wasted, wretch. You know you were still searching. There's one left. A child. But you don't know where she is.
And you just confirmed that there was still one child. ... He knows. We told his aide.
Gaining access to Longreach was a little difficult, even for a parliamentarian, but I should think the situation there has changed somewhat in the past few days. We have much bigger things to worry about now.
Just look at that evil face.
Yep.
The thing is, just interrupting everything, I'm not 100% convinced that Batiste's in the wrong. I mean, he's obviously going crazy with lust for power, but I mean, opposing the Ricari, I'm kind of down with the fight there.
The bombing of 4 cities and the triggering of a war to try and do it, not so much, but the man is evil, but his goals, at least some of them, are not entirely misguided.
Yep.
Others of them are, well, his idealization of the Amaran monarchy and all that, maybe not so great.
Maybe not so great. Yeah.
And incidentally, this is why I said Grace as a character is really someone you should have for playing through this game.
Specifically for this scene?
Well, not just this scene, but this scene.
This whole arc, what this brings together, her putting down the uprising in Amara, this whole conflict, that stuff. You mean?
Yes, the fact that she is so intimately involved with the main storyline is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Like the Yagaran army, Medea's last great war is now in motion. A real conflict of blood and fire, unlike the fear and false memories our overlords have had us cowering from. The masses are so easy to manipulate. When you control their fears and emotions, their intelligence counts for nothing. The Ricari have ruled like this for as long as anyone can remember, convinced of our ignorance. They no longer have the power to stop their system of mistrust from tearing itself apart. And while they try in vain to reassert their authority, they'll never realize just how much we know until it is too late. I've had to sully my hands to get this far, but not entirely with the blood of innocence. I'll admit that I cried as I watched Sillareth and Pantara burn beneath the beautiful clear autumn sky. But I felt little for Porto Vale or Kelstarn. The people of those cities were passive supporters of the tyranny you all suffer, collaborators content to take orders. They protested as my people were butchered in defense of their freedom. They expressed their outrage as our fields were burned and our homes looted. Nobody cried for Amara, and I shall shed no tears for them in return. It's time for my people's vengeance. Loreftain and Yagara shall tear each other's throats out, and I shall ascend from the ruins to finish their vile puppeteers, Ricari. I shall turn this world upside down, literally, and when...
And I'm going to... And there's obviously something happening after that ellipses. But I just want to point out a small flaw in his plan. He mentioned that the fact that humans were growing, and they were outstripping the ability of the Ricari to control them, so getting a bunch of people killed will actually make the relative power of the Ricari stronger. Although they may be distracted with the war, it seems like there's some sort of a Ricari to human ratio where they can fully control and where they can't really.
Well, apparently we don't fully understand his plan yet.
Fair enough. Anyway, let's see what's after these ellipses. Prince Batiste, please. We all share your passion, but there isn't time for this.
That was him speaking passionately, incidentally.
That, yes, that is the maximum amount of passion that man can produce.
Must you interrupt me, Julius? What use is a moment of triumph if I can't savor it? This is my lifetime's work, all of our lifetime's work. I must be regal. I must make my father proud.
Plowed? Well,
proud.
The field where he's resting in can be plowed.
Sorry, I bit my tongue earlier, and that's...
Not a problem. I understand, my prince, but we need to hurry. We must get to Longreach before the Aegarns attack in force, and the child is either buried in the rubble or scattered with any remaining refugees.
Yes, you're right as always, Julius. I must apologize for my youthful over-enthusiasm. I have so much still to learn. It's time for me to bid you farewell. When we meet again, it shall be in a better world. You too shall call me Prince. Even you, General Winters. Especially you. You're no better than those collaborators. You've spent your lifetime aiding the suppression of our race.
So, once again, I will interrupt. I have pulled up the Evil Overlord rules to live by, and I'm looking for... Let's see... No, that's not the complete list of rules. Here is... Nope, that list is dead. Here, Peter's Evil Overrule. This is the one. Can I find... Yes. Okay. Parliamentarian Batiste, or Prince Batiste, as you're calling yourself now, I wish to remind you of Rule 6 of the Evil Overlord list of rules. Rule 6. I will not gloat over my enemy's predicament before killing them. 7. When I've captured my adversary and he says, "Look, before you kill me, will you at least tell me what this is all about?" I'll say no, and shoot him. No, on second thought, I'll shoot him, then say no. Let's see. That's not the one. Was there another one here? No, I think it was just these two specifically that applied to this case. Although, to be fair, There are 100 of them. I'm not planning on looking at it fully. But yeah, I just wanted to point out those two specific rules.
You slaughtered my people on the battlefield and shattered their dreams of nationhood. You followed your wicked orders without regret.
And hello and welcome back, Snowball. You have no idea what regrets haunt my nightmares, stupid boy. Nor would I waste my time sharing them with you. You seem to be acquiring plenty of your own for future consideration. Perhaps when you're older, you will understand.
Ah, Grace, what stimulating conversation you might offer. My father would have paid dearly for this opportunity to stand face to face with you. Much as I would like to fulfill his aspirations and see you fall here and now in battle, you don't deserve so noble a fate.
Okay, and I will interrupt once again. Evil Overlord rule number 4. Shooting is not too good for my enemies. Batiste, you have already violated 3 rules of the Evil Overlord list. How many more will you break?
Instead, I shall leave you to watch as your precious nation crumbles around you, as its once proud army is decimated and its people scattered and left to scratch for food in the dust. And later, when you have had time enough to survey the utter ruination of your life's work, I shall deliver to you a blade in the night, the same courtesy your government extended to my father. You're an old woman now, Grace. As your life draws to a close, my life and that of my country lies open before us. You have denied so many of my people a peaceful old age. Yours, for so long as I decree it to last, shall be sheer misery. So long, General. You two, kill the Keeper. Do not harm the members of this enclave. They are frightened and willingly ignorant. They have given only this one act of assistance to our oppressors. You must set a merciful example. As for the others, hold them here until we have departed. After that, they are free to enjoy my new world order, a reward for their service.
They're getting away. We have to follow them. And what would we do when we caught them, Furwin? We can't challenge them. We simply don't have the strength. I think we've run out of options. Then think harder. You're the smart one. You have to come up with something. We're the only ones left who can. Look, the boy's clearly got a few screws loose. He probably doesn't know what he's talking about. Look on the bright side, at least he finally shut up. Now there's someone who likes the sound of his own voice. Yeah?
So
yeah.
true.
Very true. That was a lot of talking. Hey, you! Watch your mouth there, old man. You'll show the proper respect to the prince when you speak, or you'll suffer for it. You hear me? Yes, I hear you. And you're starting to push your luck. We're trying to hold a conversation here, so shut up and sit down. You arrogant swine. I think it's time somebody taught you a lesson. The kind your friend just had. What do you think, comrade?
I think you should have listened to the priest.
Welcome back! Okay, I did not expect that. I should have seen that he was smoking the cigarette in the background, but welcome back.
Jacques being a terrible person as usual, but a terrible person on our side.
Yep.
Apologies, comrade. I'm just not feeling myself today. Perhaps I woke up in the wrong bed.
Jacques, is that you?
I said I would get to the source, did I not? And so here I am. Or rather, there I was. I would have tried to dispatch of our young prince at an earlier opportunity had I known his final intentions. But I was trying to assess the full scale of this insurgency. His bodyguards are a formidable and diligent presence, but they cannot be beside him constantly. Circumventing them is a challenge Yagara's premier agent,
would have relished. Alas, I fear I held my hand too long, and the chance has passed.
What is he going to do? The Keeper said that the founders of the Enclave shared some of what they knew. What do the Ricari have buried under those ruins? The key we fear to a great force that once shaped our world, raised the mountains and sank the seas, but its masters have not had cause to use it for thousands of years, and it has lain silent. The scars of its last great action can be found etched across cliff faces and carved into the gnarled innards of our most ancient trees. We would never have known their source if we had forgotten the folklore which our ancestors brought with them on their exodus from the mainland. We've never heard anything of any such cataclysm. Why is that? Oh, whoops. I was giving Eloise Amaranda's voice. Oh well. Memory is such a fragile thing, and your governors value it highly. Our ancestors made an agreement when they founded the Enclave so many unknown generations ago. They wanted to forget, while their thoughts were still their own. But forgetting isn't always easy. Some pass down tales of an age when the sky was a-firing, and the stars fell to walk the land. Something terrible happened. The ground shattered and swallowed much on its surface. Then, for a long time, it was quiet. Many dark years passed before the storm in the sky subsided, the ground closed, and life could once again flourish on Medea. We lived on, unconcerned with the outside world and these fanciful tales, until we felt a great silence falling. Medea knows more than we do, and is bracing itself for some terrible upheaval. Old Lady Saga was right. We were destined to fail when whether we fought or not. The young woman came before us, and we knew at once it was our duty to keep her from her pursuers. We did not realize until late in this day that our fate was to help her die, rather than to help her live. A great pressure has been building in the world outside, a yearning that neither religion nor state could fulfill, a sense that something was missing. It has found form in the prince, and she sought refuge from it. That pressure has always been there. Even the mighty Ricari cannot completely obscure the past without destroying its children. Our ancestors believed that they could find a better way out here, with a simple life, a fresh start and willful ignorance, and for a time it worked. We had hoped we could escape our past and perhaps our responsibilities. We were wrong. And when they finally caught up with us, we could do nothing. Now we all face ruin because we fled, when we should have fought. We're not finished yet. Is there anything you can do to help us get back west? If we can reach Isabel before they do, we can end this. Help? Yes, there might be. If the Traverse and its inhabitants are willing to assist us. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. The tireless Tickwits can bear you south, to where you will need to be in order to prevent the prince's vision of the future from coming to pass.
Excellent. We may still be able to avert this great disaster by slaying the remaining child before the prince and his cohorts can reach her.
Okay, Snowball, go ahead and enjoy Data Live. Normal Kid, welcome back. No! This is mad! We can't kill Isabel. There has to be another way to do this. I don't like the thought either, Ferwin, but we must be prepared to do it. No matter how wrong it seems, should all else fail, the fate of all Medea may rest on a single moment's indecision. Go then with the blessings of the Traverse and its inhabitants. We will pray for your success. Froo!
Oh no, you don't. Get away from me, you horrid little monsters. You're not taking me anywhere.
You're right, Marie. You should stay here. It's the safest place I can think of right now. Don't worry, I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise. I love you.
What? Ferwin, no! Get back down here, you idiot! I love you too. Please be careful.
Hey! Alright, chapter 8 is over. Or, excuse me, chapter 7 is over. Chapter 8, the worm turns. And that is worm in the way that means dragon, rather than a little thing crawling in the dirt. Let's see. Hawthorne's Post, the Great Plains, Long Reach. So that is where Elise is supposed to be. Or, no, Isabel, excuse me.
Yes.
Blooded Hollow. Oh, now they're gonna drown Mauritius. Mauritius, are you alright? Not really, no. My robes are soaked and they'll take all day to dry. Have you ever smelt a wet priest, Furwin? It's not a pleasant odor. This is my second rapid descent from a great height in as many weeks. I'm becoming rather good at it, if I may say so. Just have to wait a moment or two for my heart to restart and I'll be fine. I saw you fall, Mauritius. The rest of the flock brought us down after you. What happened? Damned if I know. Shortly after they changed course, one of those stupid little creatures suddenly rolled over and fell from the sky. Looked like it was having a seizure. Fortunately, the rest of the crew managed to pick up the slack before I hit the ground. I don't know why they were struggling so much. I'm really not that heavy. Look, they're running away now. Yes, that's right. Flee, you treacherous little monsters. You'd better not let me catch you. Something here spooked them. I do hope they can find their way home all right. They've carried us such a great distance. Does anyone know where we're at? Where we are? I think so. I got a good view of the surrounding area as we descended. We're on the southwestern edge of the Kiplek Sink, a great forest just north of the Great Plains. We can't be more than a day's ride from Longreach. A day's ride, you say? On what mount? Great, so we have to walk the rest of the way. Those lazy little twiglets have really left us in the lurch. What possessed them to drop us here? We'll never get to Longreach before Batiste. The river they set us down beside must drain into the Great Plains. We'll need to find a crossing point. How about there? Across whatever that is. I recognize the architecture, and I can't say I'm happy to be seeing again. The thing looks as though it's an altar ruin. Why would so large a relic be close to the plains have gone unreported for so long? This great structure must have sat here, damming the flow of the river for thousands of years. I've got a bad feeling about this. Hey, Star Wars reference. The last time we visited Alder Ruins, we weren't made at all welcome. Something within this place is very wrong. Some evil so palpable that I can almost feel it in the air. I say we should go upstream and look for another crossing. We can't afford to risk delay for little more than a feeling, Mauritius. I can hear cannon fire from here. The battle for the Great Plains has begun, and its conclusion won't wait for us. Come on. And Normal Kid says, yep, Mauritius is definitely like me except for magic, and he's far more intelligent. Habitation level. This is interesting. Ooh, look at that save point. Also, we're locked now. We're stuck in here.
And look at that outer door. It's
rather beat up.
It's like it's all been torn up where it's exposed to the outside. What's been tearing at it?
That is a good question, because that's probably some pretty tough metal alloys in there. Anyway, this has been going a lot longer than expected. I was hoping to stick to more of a half-hour episode, but we are at 1 hour minus a minute. And by the time I say goodbye, we will definitely get there. What I started saying at the very start of the episode is, this is being recorded the day after I released a 4.5 hour long episode of Super Robot Wars 2. So I was so happy that the last episode was only half an hour. And then this one is an hour long. Oh well, it happens.
And this was a major story.
Oh, it was wonderful. Actually, this was episode 25, so we should be saving here, I believe. Yes. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's that. thank you, everybody. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, and check me out on Rumble and Odyssey to support alt tech. Because, well, YouTube is as stupid does. On that note, see you guys on the next episode. Bye now.